Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Tim Gordon in for David and Christine. Our top story tonight, 38-year-old Brian Moore is in jail accused of murdering 3 people in Sandy. This all unfolded on Sunday and included a shootout with police that injured a sergeant. It also prompted a shelter in place before Moore was taken into custody. He made his first court appearance this afternoon and Joe Ranieri was there.
Earlier this afternoon, we got court documents that reveal a little more about what took place. Now, the suspect, we've learned, is 38-year-old Brian Moore, who's accused of shooting and killing 3 people. He's also accused of shooting at a police officer who's going to survive. This typical quiet neighborhood in Sandy was anything but late Sunday afternoon.
It was pretty crazy. I called my dad and I was like, make sure the doors are locked. And he was like, yeah, I heard all the shootings from inside our house.
Neighbors described a chaotic scene after hearing shots fired.
About 3:45, we heard several gunshots.
Sandy police and Clackamas County Sheriff's deputies responded to a domestic disturbance and shooting. When officers arrived, they came under fire and started exchanging shots with the suspect.
I was in my bedroom and I heard gunshots, rapid gunshots, just over and over again, more than probably 8 to 10. And I looked outside, I heard people screaming.
The suspect, Brian Moore, eventually surrendered to police and was taken into custody. That officer was taken by life flight after suffering several shots, but he's expected to survive, according to Sandy Police Chief Patrick Husky. According to the Clackamas County District Attorney's Office, 3 people were shot to death: Mary Overson, Jenna Overson, and a Coben McClure. I spoke to Moore's aunt over the phone, who told me Jenna was the suspect's wife.
Being in a small town, I grew up here, and I've only been back for 4 years, and I just went from where everybody knew each other to this. Residents
in the small town of Sandy are still trying to cope with what happened. Brian Moore is being held without bail tonight. His next scheduled court appearance is next Monday. In Clackamas County, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Well, it's been almost 1 week since the deadly chemical tank failure in Longview. We've now learned the identities of all 11 employees killed in that blast. The last of the remains were recovered at the plant over the weekend. But there are still so many questions about what led up to that tank failing and what will happen next. Celine Stevens is in Longview tonight with more.
There continues to be so many moving parts following this tragic incident here in Longview. For one, we heard from the state's Department of Fish and Wildlife, and they said that they've recovered around 2,000 dead fish from the nearby ditch system. We also learned a little bit more about another victim who was a father of 2 and worked here at this plant for around 15 years. John Forsberg is one of the 11 victims from last Tuesday's deadly chemical tank failure at the Nippon Dynawave Packaging Company. He was 51 years old and worked at the plant for around 15 years. John, a father of 2 children, with his oldest child turning 20 years old the day after the fatal rupture. The family, now in need of financial help to support the kids' futures, with the family writing their thanks to the community in a statement Monday afternoon. Now, the cleanup of the devastating tragedy continues into a new week, and the impacts to the surrounding area continue to be seen. One aspect of it evident in the form of dead fish.
As of this morning, crews have recovered about 2,000 deceased fish within the ditch system adjacent to the incident.
Thousands of fish dead due to initial pH spikes in the water.
High pH, can damage gills and cause them to, lack of oxygen, disrupt normal physiological functions, and then, in some cases cause mortality.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife says as of now, they have not seen any confirmed impacts to wildlife within the Columbia River, and all impacts have been isolated to the ditch system around the incident.
Many of the fish being recovered right now likely died earlier in the incident when the pH levels had spiked. And now those fish are continuing to be kind of flushed through the ditch system as flushing operations progress. We've collected very limited numbers of invasive bullfrog, tadpoles, and then are continuing to receive reports and follow up on any other impacts at this time.
pH levels in the ditch now measuring at a normal level, with further monitoring continuing. And when it comes to what's next for the employees of the Nippon Dynawave plant, the Association of Western Pulp and Paper Workers Union says they were notified that employees are scheduled to be paid through June 7th, and the employer will make an official determination regarding next steps on or before that date. Expect to continue to see more dead fish popping up in the days to come as flushing continues. If you do see this, do not try and touch any of the wildlife. Instead, call 1-800-22-BIRDS. In Longview, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
All right, turning now to your forecast. It's a warm one today, and tomorrow is going to be downright hot, I think. Matt Missifino's here with a look at what you need to know, Matt.
Yeah, Tim, that's right. It's not going to be excessively hot, but it may be uncomfortable for a few hours in the afternoon for some. Today, though, I think most people can agree this is a pretty great day. 83 degrees, humidity at 24%. For the 1st of June, we start out with just a stunning day, right? It is going to get warmer tomorrow, though. We topped out at 84, so did Vancouver, 79 in Hillsborough, 84 in Aurora and in Hood River, and down in Medford, 89. That was the hot spot in Oregon this afternoon, and it very well will be again tomorrow, but it'll be a lot warmer, well into the 90s there. See, the only clouds to speak of are in northeast Oregon. They're just getting raised by a weather system up in the northern Rockies. The rest of us are clear, and the east wind will develop tonight, and that's going to help to really warm things up. We'll be 71 by late morning, into the 80s by early afternoon, and we should top out at 91 tomorrow. Not a record for the date, but it will tie the 3rd of May for the warmest day of the year so far. So that is our warmest day at this point. We'll match it, maybe exceed it a little bit tomorrow. So sunny and hot tomorrow, low 90s, warmest day of the year. Much cooler on Wednesday and mostly cloudy as the marine air floods back in from the coast into the western valleys. Then the weekend brings some rain. We'll talk about that Saturday rain and take a look at a strong tropical storm in the Pacific a bit later, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Matt, very much. Well, former Portland Trailblazer player, head coach, and Hall of Famer Rick Adelman has died. Adelman was the head coach of the Blazers from 1989 to 1994, leading the team to 2 NBA Finals. Art Edwards is here with a look back at his really incredible career, Art.
No, it certainly is. You know, Adelman played 7 years in the NBA, 3 of those seasons with the Trailblazers. He began his coaching career at Chemeketa Community College in Salem. He joined the Trailblazers as an assistant in 1983 and then took over the head coaching position in 1989. He coached the Blazers to the NBA Finals in 1990 and 92. They went to the Western Conference Finals with him as coach in 1991. Now, after the Blazers, Adelman coached the Warriors, the Kings, the Rockets, and the Timberwolves. Overall, he coached 23 seasons in the NBA and won 1,042 games. That is 10th most in league history. He was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame back in 2021. The NBA Coaches Association honored him with its Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award in 2023. In a statement today, the Coaches Association said that he will be remembered as not only a coach and player, but as a mentor to the basketball community. Now, the Blazers also released a statement this afternoon, just a short time ago, saying that Adelman was one of the most influential figures in franchise history. He was 79 years old.
Yeah, a big part of the history here, for sure. Art, thank you very much. On your headlines tonight, a man is in custody after allegedly stealing an oil tanker this morning and ramming it into several police cars during the ensuing chase. Police say 34-year-old Tyler Turner stole a truck from Southeast Ankeny Street and 9th just after 7 a.m. A tracking device in the vehicle led police to Turner and the truck shortly after that, and the chase was on through Southeast and Northeast Portland. It finally ended in a residential neighborhood at Northeast 31st Avenue in Emerson. When the truck hit parked vehicles and Turner got out and tried to run off, officers caught him a block away.
Trying to work, and then we hear this chaos, and yeah, my 3rd Gen 4Runner got hit, my wife's car got wrecked, but just a Monday in Portland.
Wow, despite all the damage, thankfully nobody was hurt. Well, today, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek directed the DMV to stop issuing undercover license plates to ICE, blaming the agency's, quote, repeated violations of state and federal law. The decision comes after a review of the undercover plate program related to the state's sanctuary laws. Apparently, giving the plates to ICE could be seen as the state indirectly participating in immigration enforcement. So the governor is putting a stop to it. The DMV will continue giving the plates to other local, state, and federal agencies. The governor's office says there are more than 1,200 undercover plates circulating statewide. A Portland ice cream brand, Salt & Straw, is exploring a potential sale of the company, or what it calls a capital transaction. That's according to the Portland Business Journal. Co-founder and CEO Kim Malik confirms the company is in early talks with investment bank Piper Sandler as it evaluates its next phase of growth. The Business Journal, citing a Reuters report, says the company could be valued at more than $200 million. Salt & Straw was founded in Portland in 2011 and has grown into a national brand with nearly 2,000 employees.